Hello, my name is Mike Robinson with Warriors, Defenders of Freedom. Today we have a special behind-the-scenes piece with Warriors. We're going to follow the trials and tribulations of a wounded warrior from Merrimack, New Hampshire. From an IED explosion in Afghanistan to how we can renovate and make his house safe and accessible for a guy back from the battlefield. Today you're going to meet Chuck Donnelly of Merrimack, New Hampshire. On May 15, 2011, while on patrol with his recon unit in Afghanistan, Chuck stepped on an IED, causing a severe injury to his lower leg. It has been amputated below the knee. Chuck is in transition now, going through rehab in the States and transitioning back to his civilian life. We're going to follow his trials and tribulations as we make his house accessible for a wounded warrior back in his hometown of Merrimack. Through my good friend Bernie Ruchin of Bedford, New Hampshire, a World War II Marine, I had the pleasure of meeting Brian Hooper, Vice President of MSI Mechanical Systems and co-founder of Building Dreams for Marines. Brian's goal and the organization's goal is to help transition wounded warriors like Chuck from military to civilian life. Chuck's home in Merrimack needs some severe upgrades to help him through his disabilities. We're going to be talking about renovating a kitchen, a bathroom, moving some walls so that this wounded warrior can move around his home in Merrimack once he transitions back to civilian life. Follow us on this great journey with Warriors, Defenders of Freedom and a great behind-the-scenes piece. Mike Robinson, Warriors, Defenders of Freedom. We're here with Chuck Donnelly. Semper Fi, Chuck.
Semper Fi.
We're with a project called Building Dreams for Marines, and we're outside Chuck's home in Merrimack, New Hampshire. Wounded warrior. Chuck, tell us a little about your background. When did you join the Marines and where you served?
Well, I joined the Marine Corps in 2008 after graduating college, enlisted to be a grunt in 2003. From there I went on to reconnaissance school, became a reconnaissance Marine in 0321. There I was deployed to Sing in Afghanistan, northern Helmand province. I spent some time up in the mountains and lower valley regions, and ended up getting blown up in Sangin Valley itself.
And that was a typical IED?
Yep, stepped on an IED on May 13th, 2011, and been home since May 17th, 2011.
And what was the extent of your injuries?
The extent of my injuries was amputated lower left leg below the knee.
And you're still in recovery, you're still doing some rehab. How's that coming?
Rehab's going fantastic. I've been there for about 7 months now, and we are just waiting now for my paperwork to go through so I can come home and be home with my wife.
My name is Brian Hooper with Building Dreams for Marines. This is our first project in Merrimack, New Hampshire, and we're going to be renovating the kitchen area here and also a bathroom on the first floor and then also on the second floor. So we're going to be making it handicap accessible so it makes life easier for Chuck in his home.
So Brian, just give us a quick scope of the work. We're here in the kitchen now. Tell us what we're going to be doing.
Well, the areas I think that are the toughest, and Chuck, you can kind of jump in, is this area right here.
Right.
So we're going to kind of try and move this around. We're going to revamp the kitchen so it's easier for Chuck to basically get around. So for the most part, the room is going to stay square foot, probably the same size, but we're just going to revamp everything. Right below here, we're going to access all the piping and redo where the water line comes in, maybe move the sink area, move the fridge around, move the island, and redo some cabinetry. So in here, it's not a huge amount of work, but you know, when you walk in here, it's going to look totally different because a lot of the work will be in the basement. so it's not really going to be ripping up ceilings or anything like that, which is nice. It's the other areas that are going to get ripped up pretty good. So this area, it may look like it's going to be a lot of work, but you know, taking this out and moving things around, it's really not going to be that bad. So.
And Chuck, for accessibility, that's what you need. A little more room back there. Tell us
Right.
what your challenges are now in the kitchen.
I have accessibility problems because, you know, if you look at, say, the placement of the oven, if I have to open the oven, it's nearly impossible for me to now maneuver around the kitchen to get to the sink, unless I'm already on that side. And then once I do get into that side, it's difficult for me and another person to be in there, for me to move around, turn around. It's pretty much my own space when I'm in there. And most of this, you see me walking right now pretty well, but most of it's for when, you know, evening comes and I have to take my prosthetics off or stuck to a wheelchair or something like that. It's nearly impossible to maneuver in this kitchen without my prosthetics or somebody else being in the room.
Yeah, this is really tight. As you see this door, it's very narrow.
Yeah. Okay.
And
small little bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're basically gonna, you know, expand this out. And I think what we talked about before is maybe even like making this bigger.
Right.
And kind of revamping this whole thing here. So we're not really gonna know until we start knocking walls down how big this area will be. But basically this bathroom is gonna be bigger, and you know, the doorway's gonna be wider and everything like that. So you know, everything will be in the new floor, everything will be all new in here. So basically this bathroom's gonna get all revamped and updated, you know, with handicapped accessible fixtures and so forth. So, and then the next one, which will be the one above, I think it's actually directly above this.
It's on that side.
Is it above the kitchen? Okay. So we're going to be revamping that, and we can go take a look at that next.
Great.
We're actually going to be revamping this a little bit too. This is a hazard, especially if walking down the stairs. Yeah.
This bathroom's a little tight. It's one of the bigger offenders of not being accessible to me. First of all, the door barely fits myself, and many of the times I'm using this bathroom is at night when I have my crutches, and it's very difficult for me to get my crutches in and out of here. And beyond that, when I'm taking a shower, with one leg, there's no way to get in and out of that shower without physically jumping in with one leg and then jumping out, which is extremely dangerous when things are wet and things are slippery. So there's no outlets in this bathroom either, which make it very difficult for not only me but my wife as well. The doorway, excuse me, the doorway is a pocket door, which is nearly inaccessible while using crutches, and both hands are tied up. And it's just really small and hard to maneuver. Again, one-person bathroom when I'm in there.
So what we're going to be doing here is this wall right here is going to be knocked down. There's a closet right next to here. So we're basically going to expand everything and push everything over. We're going to move the sinks around. I think we talked about, is it on this wall?
I think so.
So probably on this wall, the sinks will be here. You know, obviously we're going to make a bigger shower. I think it was actually going to be that,
Right, the
that
length
whole
of-
wall right there. So that whole wall, that way, you know, it has a seat and everything else will be, you know, right here. That would be the shower. And then we'll move the toilet onto the other side.
So this closet over here, as we.
Yep, it's just a
right
closet
there.
right now,
Okay.
and we're just gonna basically knock that wall down and push.
Okay.
So it's actually gonna be nice to do that, you know. Obviously, we're gonna have to get down below, so that actually might interfere. It will interfere with that kitchen area because that will be in the ceiling. So we'll probably have to rip the ceiling out right here, basically because the fixtures, the water lines and everything, probably run around this wall. So we'll have to run down below, drain it, cut cap, and then move everything
Right.
over. So, but you know, I'm thinking we're probably going to have to start from the up down.
Right.
That way, as we're going, everything's new.
Right.
Because you can't really just be everywhere.
Yeah.
You got to give you a bathroom. So we'll probably start from this spot down, and once this is all finished, now they can use this bathroom on a daily basis, and then we can attack the one downstairs. You know what I mean? So, because they're still going to be living here, and we're going to make sure that, you know, this is accessible. So.
Just residential, yeah.
Okay.
Nice and easy for me to finish.
Absolutely.
overview of what's going on.
And I'll get you the information as soon as I have
Thank
it.
you. No problem. Thank you.
Okay? Thank you for coming,
All right.
Dick. I appreciate
I
it.
see you later.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Ed Bovier with Massey Plumbing and Heating.
And Ed, tell us how you got involved with this project.
I was contracted by Terry Raposo. Want to know if I'd be interested in this project. I just said yes.
And you had mentioned earlier you have, was it a son over in
Yeah,
Afghanistan?
my son, Peter Sergeant Bovier, is in Afghanistan presently, on his way home.
And is he Army or Marines?
He's a Marine.
And he's coming home for Christmas.
He won't be home for Christmas, but his roots will be in the US of A.
That's great. Awesome.
Good thing.
Nice to have you on board.
Thank you.
On the screen, you'll get information on how to contact Brian Hooper with his Building Dreams for Marines. Check out the website. There'll be contact information to see how you can help.